Want to play for my life, Richard? You fucking got it. Just come on down. Hi, little girl. Ah, dude. Acapulco Gold. The bong is doing good. It hit like a motherfucker. I gotta get used to it. It hit me like Mike Tyson. Hit the back of my head. And, keep the heads ringing. I love you, little girl. Yeah, you know what? You can look. I mean, there's some of you that are my age out there, or maybe even older. But do you? I mean, that was the thing. Television was warning us of Y2K, the millennia, whatever you want to call it. But that's really what it was. That's when that's when they closed the clubs in New York City, like we were talking about. That's when the whole club music, everything scene, and drug scene, movies, I even believe to some degree, those hung on but it all died around 2000. And back in the 80s and all through the 90s, they would subtly fuck you. I can hear that piece of shit next door. And they would warn you about the upcoming dystopian nightmare. Like George Orwell, Big Brother is watching you. Get off that. Get the fuck off that. God damn it, get off that. I love you. George Orwell, Big Brother's watching you. 1138 THX, Police State. That was, all-seeing government. Things like, the term reality, before the term reality TV was even coined in the 90s, they were doing it in the 80s. For example, I'm thinking like John Walsh, the poor guy, his son, he had this son Adam, and his son was found decapitated. Get away from that. God damn it, get away from that. And his son was decapitated, and as he was stolen from a Montgomery Wards, that was a thing that used to happen all the time back then, and milk carton kids, all that. Shut the fuck up while I'm doing this. Please, fuck off. and he had that show, America's Most Wanted, and it was kind of like reality TV in the name of justice, but things like that. But what came first was movies like The Running Man. Now that movie, it's some 80s movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I forget her name, Maria Conchita Alonso or something, maybe, Richard Dawson, who's from the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, Family Feud. And it was all about a police state where they put and it took place in the future. And it also touched on artificial intelligence. It predicted computers, artificial intelligence. And they would just fly around in this movie and capture criminals and make them run the proverbial gauntlet. Make them run in a maze while stalkers ran after them. Okay? And these were criminals, child molesters, murderers. Some were falsely imprisoned, and it was all being televised live on TV. This week, John Smith versus 12 stalkers in the maze. John Smith is accused of, or he's been convicted of killing his whole family, raping children, and he's a child killer and a molester of human life. Let's get this scumbag. And the dude's running for his life in a virtual maze. And the maze is kind of like those Japanese TV shows where people are running on logs and they're falling into water and they have to swing across a fucking chasm. Like that. And but they're doing it for their life. And there's people betting on it. And Richard Dawson becomes like this figure, like me and this other guy we're having an idea about. He becomes this Christ. Who the fuck loves you? We do. Because he's not only a game show host and a TV star, he's supposedly doing this in the name of justice, and everyone's happy in a post-apocalyptic world, which I think it was too. It was something like that, and everybody's happy, and the police state loves it. The people are satisfied. They bet on it. They're in Times Square watching it on a big screen TV before we even had big screen TVs. You make a fucking Running Man Part 2 and you put Donald Trump, but it's gotta have good scripting and it's gotta be memorable and it's gotta have intense, insane graphics. It's gotta predict the future. And you can even get Arnold Schwarzenegger back in there for some kind of role, not as a stalker or a runner, but yeah, man. And it's pretty, I don't know. I think that would be fucking great. The Running Man. And it was all about reality TV, or intercepted or closed captioned stuff, faces of death, videos of staged and real suicides, videos of staged and real bank robberies where criminals lock themselves into a vault and there's a camera and you could see the airs running out inside the vault and the criminal's been caught and he's climbing the walls like Sid fucking Barrett, literally climbing the walls of the vault trying to get the fuck out because he knows the cops are coming. And sometimes they have footage of criminals doing that where they get locked inside and they've been there for over a 3-day week. Some of them, I saw one video years ago, about 20 years ago, where some dude goes into the vault. They had a camera in the vault, and it was literally an airtight vault of some sort, where the air got so thin he supposedly died in there. They came out after like a week of some kind of reserve that was closed, and they opened up the vault, and there's a dead cockroach. He was there on the floor with all these money and jewels. That was the end of his. Or people that tried to drill into banks and they climbed it, got stuck in a hole and died there. Suicides, dogs attacking people, all reality obsessed. Live suicides with Bud Dwyer, the actual stuff, war atrocity films. Yeah, that's the shit we used to watch, buy, and eat up when it was on TV. America's Most Wanted was the close. That came after, and it was just like, this is what's going to happen. But so many... I don't even know if this Trump shit exists because I've been in such a literal statewide bubble that you could tell me anything. Everything I get is a lie. Everything's fake, and everything is a lie. I live a lie. No, they live a lie. I live a misery. And but even if shut the fuck up, shut up, motherfucker, shut up. But if Trump doesn't make it, people are saying he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna. I don't know. If he doesn't, it doesn't matter because that would be even better for his credibility because he fucked shit up, supposedly assassinated. It could be. It doesn't matter. I mean. If it passes my test, it'll totally blaze the masses. It will whitewash the masses, and they'll be like, "Well, what president did that? What president? There hasn't been an assassination attempt since when? And who's the last president that died in office? Which he should, and he looks to me. I mean, he's got all his faculties inside and outwardly. He's in good health." And somebody said he's obese. I mean, where do you draw the line? I mean, he can't be the president because of the way I grew up. If you printed something like that, you would. First of all, you wouldn't. I mean, I don't know who the guy is, but I mean, it seems kind of personal, and it seems like you might have repercussions for saying shit like that. Yeah, we're all obese in America, supposedly, but I wouldn't classify him as obese. I mean, that's just a technical term. That's like a scientific term. Yeah, but you're obese. And it's like, yeah, but you're underweight. You're using scientific terms to describe what the fuck you think obesity is. He carries if he has any fat, he carries it in the right places. Does he look, when you look at Trump, do you think obese? Or do you think that's a man about to expire? He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he's totally on his vigor game. He's got so much boundless energy, it makes you wonder. Shut the fuck up. And the venues he was playing, I've seen all of them and studied all of them. Those are good crowds. You're a fucking liar if you say it isn't. He held sway at every one he did, and whipped people up into a fury as if, I mean, he's probably doing it the right way. From all the shit I learned in my life, that's exactly how you do it. Me looking at his campaigns. Maybe those people were even bought. Doesn't matter. It's great TV. It was worth recording. It was it's successful propaganda, if that's what it is. I don't want to be bored and see a dude talking in an auditorium to uninterested, reluctant motherfuckers that don't want to be converted. I want to see rabid fans, fucking, like Donald Trump, converted. Religious zeal, devoted zealots, and fanatics. That's what I want to see. Like if I was, if I was to do a show like I told you before, and it really mattered, and there was going to be other people there, I'd pay all kinds of motherfuckers to be there and just to go crazy. I'd pay hookers, I'd pay dancers, I'd pay fanatical people. Somehow, some way. Or as best as I could. If I'm playing for 50 people tonight, I'll pay 10 of them. That's all you need to make a dent. 10 fanatical fucking motherfuckers running across the stage, putting their titties out, just screaming my name. That's enough, isn't that something? That's enough to make a dent.